Alright, TK 1636.
TD 69937.
TK 32115.
Alright, what I'm gonna do is the gray paint, I'm gonna do the traps and the tiers, and then Jay is gonna go ahead and do the dirtiness. Alright, I'll let them explain. All I'm doing is just painting these, so I don't really have to explain it, but I'll be painting on the side while they're doing that.
Okay, what I've got is Folk Art Outdoor, and it is maple syrup, which is 1617 number. And then also we're using Craft Smart acrylic paint tan. These can both be got at Michael's for like $2. So we're gonna take a little bit of the maple syrup, and we're gonna add it in there, and then we're gonna take a little bit of tan and add in there.
Sure.
And then, see, just like that. And then we're going to take a little bit of water, because what the water does is it's going to mix it a little bit and make it not as thick, and it'll be easier to paint with. All right, stir it up.
Alright, so while he's mixing that paint up, all I'm doing right now is painting this one tier. And I'm not necessarily painting all the way to the edge. I'm just painting where the black is at. So where the black lines are, I just filled them in. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to do the same thing for the back
Do
ones
we
too.
get this wet first?
You don't have to.
I like it to.
Okay.
I think it's already good.
All right, so you got your brush, and you stick it into the crevices. What we're doing is we want to make it darker in the crevices, and the rest will be a little bit lighter. So you just tap, tap. Just kind of just tap it as you go down. And then you want to take your paper towel and then dab it. That way you want to get some of it off. You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too light either, but you want to get there you go. Just dab, 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 dab. Yep. And then you go with the other side. Do the same thing. Just dab, dab. And then once again, just take your paper towel. Very good.
Is this fine?
Yeah. And see, so it'll look like that. And then we want to go on the back side. Basically everything where the dirt will look like it will cake in all the crevices, you want to dab it. And the beauty part of this is this kind of paint is when if you make a mistake, which really you can't really make a mistake while you're painting, you can also take alcohol or a little bit of water and you can rub it off and start over. But it's more like an art form. Like you can't make mistakes. You just
You don't like how you finished it, so you're just going to redo it basically.
yeah.
No mistakes, only happy accidents.
There is no
Happy
mistakes,
accident.
only happy little accidents.
And happy trees.
Jay, how is this?
Yeah.
Fine?
See, we're gonna go over it with the tan and make it dirty. But this is just basically fake.
Up on the lip, did you do this part?
No,
Or
just
will we do that
do this.
part?
Just that part.
So how many different techniques are there to do what you're doing?
There's the painting method, and then there is the Fuller's Earth sand method, which I don't like. I mean, it looks good, but the fact that I don't want to be at a troop and a little girl come up to me in a pretty dress and want to give me a hug, and then when she steps back, it rubbed off on her. The dirt rubbed off on her, and now her pretty dress is dirty, and she goes cries to mommy, and it's just not cool. This, once it's dry, it's not going to rub off. And I've even trooped in the rain, and the rain didn't even wash it off.
I can vouch
Remember
for
that? Yes.
Mhm.
But there's also the airbrush method. What
Yes.
else? And then some people go more dark looking and not brown. So probably the best way is to try to go more earth tones. Right?
Right. Well, the tan and the maple syrup, when it's mixed the right way, it will give a dirt appearance, a mud appearance once it dries.
But you want less of that and more of the brown, right?
See, here's what my sniper knee plate looks like, or my neck, my shin. And see, it looks like it's dirt, mud. Yeah, I had some fun fighting those rebels. Yeah. All right. That's
Okay, let me interrupt you real quick. I went ahead and painted this, just the tiers, both sides of tiers, and both traps in the back. The front one's already gray. I didn't have to mess with the ears,
doing it.
and none of the
Yeah.
blue right here. I didn't have to mess with that. None of the teeth, none of the vocoder, just the traps and the tiers. That's it. So now we gotta let that dry while he's doing that, and then they can go ahead and paint this one, dirty it up.
We'll go step by step with it. All right. So now for the actual weathering, we're gonna add more tan to what we already have, so that because you want it less red and more dirt, just like that. And then we'll mix it up. A bit more tan.
So you want more tan and maybe just a hint of the maple
Right.
syrup.
Yeah, because you want it to look, like I said, you want it to look like mud, like dirt. And then we'll add some more water.
Maybe show the consistency.
See, it's kind of runny. You want it runny. You don't want it thick, because the runnier it is, the easier it is to dab off, and then that simulates the weathered look, instead of, because you don't want to paint it, you want it weathered. And then you take your little brush again, you dip it in, and then you just make little marks.
Oh, look, it's very, not thick.
And
So a lot of what you did, or what you're doing to this, is what me and my buddy did when we did the zombie trooper.
oh, really?
We did a lot of the dabbing on, and then sometimes wiping, sometimes pressing into it.
Like this?
Yeah. And, you just kind of form a little pattern, not too much, just kind of around. Because when you dab it, it's going to smush it a little bit, and it's going to cause it to have that dirty look when you tap it.
Mine is not as dirty as yours.
Okay. And then the Scotch pad, you could sand it with it, just kind of rub it to get the paint. If it's too much, you can get it, and it'll make the little holes and wet it better.
So you want me to take the thighs off, so you can do the
Yeah.
thighs next?
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Just random patterns, random patterns.
Here. We'll stop the video when you're done, and then start another one.
white. No, it's dirty.
My shin's a little white.
And then you can take your fingernail, your thing, and go in the crevice and kind of a little bit, and that takes some of it off, so that way it's not
So
too
you don't
thick.
want blobs.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, it just all depends. It's like you can make it go back and kind of just use your fingernail a little bit, and then see how it makes it kind of here or there. It's not a straight seam. It's just kind of broken up like it's dirty. See? And it's similar. And of course, you can, as you troop, you can add more. You can take off less. It just depends on your preference and what you think looks cool. Not too bad.
That's very nice.
And you want to make it sure that it's consistent around, so that way you don't have too many open spots where it's clean. So that way it looks like you've really been trekking in the desert and getting nice and muddy, and dirty.
Jason Rebel
Yeah,
looking for droids.
looking for droids. And voila.
Oh my gosh. How is this, Jay?
Yeah, that's good.
Very good.
What do you think?
That's good.
You can always just
Okay, so we'll finish this video and we'll go ahead and start with the thighs on the next video. Okay.